So, good day. I am Janame Erosido. I'm from the Section A for the Agro 2 or Principles and Practices of Plant Breeding Propagation and Nursery Management. So, our topic is all about principles of nursery management. So, my topic is all about the introduction in the foresight factors of the nursery management. So, nursery management, it is a crucial aspect of horticulture and agriculture. So, focusing on the cultivation of plants for transplanting, sale, or for use in landscaping. So, a well-managed nursery ensures healthy plants growth, maximize productivity, and meets market demands. So, a well-managed nursery, it ensures that the plants is healthy and maximize productivity and meets the market demand. So, first that we need to consider, so the site selection. So, the site selection also have three factors to consider, which is soil quality. So, soil quality, well-draining soil rich in organic matter is ideal. So, number 2 is climate. So, we all need to consider if magpick tag kuan nursery is the climate. So, choose a location with a suitable climate for the plant being grown. So, accessibility. The ika-3 nga i-consider na to, which is the accessibility. So, ensures the site is easily accessible for the transportation of materials and products. So, we all need to consider this factor for the transportation of the materials and the product. So, next is the nursery design. So, the nursery design, with naapod siya tulo ka layout consideration. So, first is the spacing. So, adequate spacing between plants to allow for growth and air circulation. So, we all know that spacing is very important for the plants para equal ang pag-spread sa iyahang or allow between plants to allow for growth and air circulation. So, number 2 is watering system. So, design for efficient irrigation systems such as drip or overhead sprinklers. So, as I have known that this ang the best nga kanang watering system for the kung mag-nursery ta, which is the drip irrigation, because the drip irrigation can directly to the roots. Ang water madirect siya sa roots, which is dili po siya, otherwise expensive siya, pero siya kanang successful ang daghan ang nakuan nga successful ang nahimuan ng drip irrigation. So, pathways. We need to consider also the pathways. So, create clear pathways for easy access and maintenance. So, let's proceed to the number 3, which is the propagation techniques. So, there are 4 methods to consider also for propagation techniques, which is the seed propagation. Involves sowing seed in a controlled environment. So, in nursery management, dili man siya kapataka o tanom, which is also imuhang i-considered, which involves sowing seed control environment. So, seed. Nini, ang propagation techniques na siya tulo di upat ka which is the seeds, kaning cuttings, grafting, and tissue culture. So ang cuttings taking part of plant to grow new individuals. So kanang ang cuttings, it is the kanang gikan na siya sa plants nga imong siyang giputol to imo na pud nang tanom. So ang grafting, which is joining parts from two plants to grow as one. So for example is the kalamansi. Ang usa is imuhang ang ordinary kalamansi na imo siyang gi-joinan og king kalamansi. So if kanang successful ang imong pag-grafting, so mo grow na siya into ma-join na siya into plants to grow as one. So tissue culture, I am not familiar with this, but I'm trying to discuss this one. So tissue culture, growing plants from cell in a sterile environment. So just like for example for the banana, from the seeds of the banana gihimo siyang kanang gipik siya as kanang gitagsatag siya og unya tissue culture siya. So let's proceed to soil management. So in nursery management, we also need to consider the soil management. So soil management has 3 practices. So in nursery management, soil testing is very important to regular testing to determine nutrient needs and pH level. So if nursery ta, ang ato jung ibutang nga kanang soil is kanang dapat gi-soil testing siya para to determine nutrient needs and para imuha siyang ma-determine ba kung kulang ba siya aning kanang elements or kanang nutrient, which is very important to do. So amendments, adding compost, fertilizer, or lime to improve soil quality. So amendments, it is very also important nga mag-add tag compost or fertilizers or lime to improve soil quality. Also, the mulching, using organic or synthetic mulch to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. So, example sa mulching, we have organic mulching, kanang like sa mga palot, sa mga kanang pareha ng munggos, pwede na nimo siya i-mulch o kana pong mga dahon-dahon. So, using organic or synthetic. So, synthetic mulch can be plastic or plastic mulch to conserve moisture. So ang importante pud sa mulch is kaning to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. So ang kalahian sa gi-mulch og dili i-mulch nga plants is dali ra jud siyang kanang tubuan og kung dili nimo i-mulch ang tanom. So that's all. Thank you.
So next is soil management. Soil management is very important po niya. Manage ito atong soil mapa nursery man na siya or urban garden dapat na agyapon ang soil management. So soil management anapod na ginatawag og practices. Misi practices kana siyang no tillage ba atong gina-apply or tillage ba jud atong gigamit sa atong yuta. So sa soil pod management is natay ginatawag og soil testing. Muna si soil testing kanang ginatest na to ang pH sa soil level niya para na mga tanom nga musot ana nga yuta mabal-an nato. So dayon dapat po is we having a regular testing to determine the mineral needs sa atong soil. Then next is amendments kay mo na siya ang mga kuan ginabutang or gina-apply sa atong yuta, whether organic or inorganic. Like example, mulching, mga compost, amendments out kuan wala dili dayon mulching kanang mga taog compost, fertilizer, organic or inorganic. So mo na siya, apil na siya sa soil management. Next is mulching. Mulching is naputay ang mulching is naputay ginatawagan na og organic and inorganic. Example kanang mga hot sa humay, like may nga na, or magamit sa inorganic is magamit tag plastic mulch. Next is ang proceed ta sa water management. Sa water management naputay ginatawag og mga naputay gi-apply nga technique sa water management. Example nga technique is kanang mag irrigation scheduling, kanang mga dapat natay irrigation scheduling kanang regular and timely watering based on plant needs. Kay labi na sa weather condition, kay example kanang gaulan taman unya imong water kay imong tubig or imong sprinkler kay imura pong gisigig paagay. So dapat ato po na siyang i-monitor. Then we have drainage. Drainage also is very important sa ato ang sa mapa-garden man or mapa-nursery man, kay ang drainage is to ensure proper drainage to prevent waterlogging which can harm plant roots. So dili lang pod na siya sa makaharm sa plant roots, kundi labi na pod sa to ang human, kay labi na kung maglag na magtigom na ang tubig, posible na pa mga lamok-lamok. So maka-apekto gyapon na dili lang sa plant kundi sa ato. Then kanang kung wala tay tarong drainage, posible nga maapektuhan jud ako ang epekto sa atong mga tanom, kay mga lata, so gamay og harvest, then mga matay. Next is pest and disease control. Napatay mga strategies nga gina-apply ana pod or ginabuhat ana nga pest and disease control. We have IPM or Integrated Pest Management. So natay ginatawag diha og kanang biological method or cultural, dayon chemical control, or kanang gina-discuss naman na nato mga ingana nga klase. So ato na gina-apply na siya sa strategy sa pest and disease control, mga handpicking, mga biological control ra ba, or mugamit ba jud tag chemical. Next is regular monitoring. Regular monitoring kay importante po na siya sa pag-control nato sa mga peste. Why? Kay ngano, kung dili ra po nato monitoron, panalitan monitor ta early in the morning or late in the afternoon, kanang gabi na, kay labi na naadra ang mga peste mo atake. So present na sila dihang mga orasa. So dapat ato na silang nanatay gitawag og regular monitoring, kay para makita nato kung dapat na ba nato silang applyan og IPM, nanabay mga ulo, nanabay nagsugod na bagip mangkaon ang mga dahon. So dapat na atay regular monitoring. Next is sanitation. Sanitation is very important, labi na dili man kayo use sa ato but importante gihapon siya, labi na kung nata sa mga dago nga field, dayon labi na jud sa nursery, kay naay mga gipang isolate nga mga seedlings o mga tanom nga naay gipang isolate dira, dapat ampingan. So dapat sanitation is keeping the nursery clean to prevent anti-spread of pathogens. So labi na kung gagikan ka asa-asa nga dapit wala ta kabalo nga na nagdala daytag bacteria, so posible nga maadto sa mga tanom, dayon mas mudaghan og magdala pa og dili maayo. So
Good day everyone, especially to our instructor in this subject, teacher Jonathan L. Bayatin. And for today's video, I will discuss a continuation of the report of Miss Maria Cristina Pat about the principles of the nursery management. Seventh is the fertilization. Under the fertilization, we have a guidelines. First is the nutrients requirement, the application timing, and the third is the type of fertilizer. And now let's discuss about the nutrients requirements under the fertilization. First is we have plants requires macronutrients such as the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassiums, and micronutrients such as iron, manganese, copper, and etc. for healthy growth. Different plants have varying nutrients needs depending on their growth stages and type. For example, our leafy vegetables such as like lettuce required high nitrogen the levels for robust leaf growth, while flowering plants such as tomatoes benefits from phosphorus for strong roots and bloom development. Example, in vegetables farming, you might apply a balanced fertilizer like 10-10-10 or 14-14 na NPK during the early growth stages of tomatoes to encourage both roots and foliage development. However, once the plants start flowering and fruiting, a phosphorus-rich fertilizer such as the 5-10-10, the NPK is more beneficial to promote fruits. The second one is the application timing. The timing of the fertilizer application is crucial. Yes, it is crucial. For applying too much fertilizer at the wrong time can lead to nutrient imbalance or environmental pollution. Fertilizers are typically applied at planting time during the growing season, often in stages, and post-harvest for soil replenishment. The example, for fruit trees, it's best to fertilize in early spring before the growing season begins, when the tree is preparing to flower and produce fruit. Fertilizing too late in the season might stimulate late growth and could be damaged by frost. The third one is the type of the fertilizer. The fertilizers can be either organic, like compost, or manure. Our synthetic is just a chemical fertilizer, just like an NPK, the nitrogen, the urea, and many more synthetic types of fertilizer. The organic fertilizers are often preferred for their minimal environmental impact, although they may take longer to show effect, while the synthetic fertilizer provide quicker nutrient availability but can have negative long-term impact of our soil health. See for example sa amo ang kanang silingan. During sa kuan ato is wala siya timing, wala siya sukod sa iyang fertilizer application. Therefore, ang nahitabo ang iyaha nga mga mais is wala hinuning tubo tungod sa na over ang iyang pagbutang sa balong sa fertilizer balong dili pata ana nga time niya dapat ihatag ang fertilizer. Okay, for example, an organic farmer might for compost or fish emulsion, while a conventional farmer might use a synthetic nitrogen fertilizer like ammonium nitrate to quickly address nutrient deficiencies. So, see for example sa amua, kabatch ato niya is ang amuang kuan. Wala mi nang gamit og synthetic, just a purely goat manure. So, ang nahitabo ato is ang amua is wala siya ingon nga totally gid siya nga parehas anang muhatag kag synthetic, pero ang iha nga yuta after sa post-harvest na is still nagfertile ra siya gihapon kay continuation raman ang paghatag og nutrients didto sa yuta by the animal manure. Okay, the eighth is the record keeping. So first is the tracking growth, the financial record, and the last one, yes, the financial record. The tracking growth, of course, monitoring plant growth allow farmers to identify issues early such as nutrient deficiencies, pest evasions or diseases. A well-maintained record help optimize the growing process and improve yield. Of course, we need to have a track growth. Say for example, if naakay ka ng kuan ang imuhang target anang kuan ang bulana is mao ni ang imong i-harvest. So kinahanglan you should know kung kanus animo itanom, kanus aka mag-apply sa fertilizer, kanus aka mag-harvest kay naa man kay tracking growth niya. So ikaw mismo nga farmer makaibalo ka sa tubo kanus aka muani ug kanus aka makakwarta. So kinahanglan you have a tracking growth also. Then the financial record. Financial record tracking expenses, sales and profit. It is essential for managing a farmer's financial health. It helps in assessing the success of operations and in planning for future investment or expansion. Yes, you need to have also a financial record. See for example, you have a 1 hectare nga tanom nga mani. Then ang imong nagasto ana is ningkabat ta siya 50,000. Tungod lagi kay daghan ang imong ani sa imong mani, nagpasagad ra pud kag panghatag sa imong silingan kay tungod na apoy mangayo. Pero wala ka kahibalo nga if wala kay financial record, wala ka kahibalo kung pila na ang imong nagasto. Kinahanglan nimo og financial record in order for you to know kung kano unsala pila ang kwarta nga imong kinahanglan nga ibalik sa imuhang bulsa. So kinahanglan jud ta og financial record. Si for example, ang imong annual, ang imuhang manpower, pila ang imuhang inadlaw, pila pud ka adlaw ka nagpatrabaho, ang imong pagpaani, ang imong pagpatanom, kinahanglan ka og financial record. Ang imong pagpasnak, ang imuhang animal power, kinahanglan nimong i-track ang imuhang finances record para mabawi nimo og makaibalo pud kag naa ba kay ginansya or wala. The second the 9 is the marketing and sales. The marketing and sales under niya is naatay market research. And we have also the diverse offering and the branding and promotion. We have marketing and sales. We have market research. Understand customer preferences and market trends is vital for ensuring that your offers align with the demand. It involves analyzing competition, customer needs, and identifying the market. Say for example, if you're running a flower nursery, market research could involve surveying local florists to determine which flowers are in high demand or analyzing seasonal trends to anticipate what plants will sell best at certain times of the year. Of course, kinahanglan nato siya nga hibalon pod ang demand. Say for example is kang imuhang flower aning nga season is wala kayo nagkinahanglan og kining mga roses. Ang roses is gikinahanglan siya during dili man siya kayo nga kanang ingon nga wala kay gikinahanglan pero gikinahanglan siya. Pero ang mas gikinahanglan siya during the kanang gitawag nila nga Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is dinha manggawas ang mga roses. So kinahanglan ka nga imuhang or ang imuhang pag-apply nimo sa imuhang organic fertilizer para makapamulak siya, dapat maka-harvest ka by the month of February para haom siya sa demand sa marketable. Okay. And also we have the diverse offerings. Providing a variety of plants can attract a wider range of customer. Diversity can be a term of plant types. Example, the ornamental, the edible, the native species, the iyang size, iyang colors, and also the pot types. So kinahanglan also nato ikwan ang ato ang mga diverse offerings. See for example, ang imuhang unsa laman ang gikinahanglan ana nga asay mas nindot ay attractive sa mga tawo o sa mga customers nga tan-awon katubang puyasot nga mga bulak or katubang mga dagko nga mga bulak o katubang kagwapahon niya kitungod pula-pula kaayo siya or katubang dili kayo siya ingon nga pula pero bati pa jud siya. So kinahanglan nimo nga i-track ang imong diverse offering kay naa may ingon nga first class, second class ding third class. So kinahanglan mostly ang atong ihatag is the first class. Although makonsider ba po nato siya nga i-consider nato ang the last class kay naa man po'y uban nga mamalitay nga mas prefer sila dito sa barato para makatipid sila. Pero kinahanglan nato nga we have a diverse offering para sa mga class A, class B o class C. So kinahanglan ta nga we have our diverse offering in terms of our producing our different crops atong mga usalan nina nga ato ang mga pananom. And also we have our branding and promotion. So building a strong brand and promoting it effectively can set you apart from competitors. This can include developing a memorable logo, creating a website, or using social media platforms to showcase your plans and services. So, kung itong makita karon in this time na all people are using social media, nagbuhat na sila og kaugalingon nilang page. Nagbuhat na sila kaugalingon nilang store. Example is the Shopee. Sa Shopee is naatay lain-lain nga mga stores. Dito ma-promote nato ang ato ang brand, ang ato nga mga baligya. Dito nato mapahaom kung unsalan ang mga gikinahanglan. So kinahanglan also nato nga mag-promote of branding and branding or kanang ato nga mga pages para ma-promote nato ang ato ang mga baligya. Example is if naakay namaligya kag bulak, so kinahanglan nga naakay kining gitawag na to nga active nga active users ka sa imo nga page kay tungod na may mang-inquire ana, so kinahanglan nimo pong i-promote, ma-promote nimo siya kay moagi man siya sa mga walls dinha sa mga naggamit og Facebook, Instagram and other social media platforms. Muna kinahanglan ta og branding in order for us to promote our business. Okay, the last one is the sustainability practices. Sustainability in farming focuses on the minimizing environmental harm and ensuring the long-term health of ecosystem while continuing to meet the need of growing population. Under ani niya is we have our organic practices and water conservation, biodiversity. So we have our three, the organic practices, water conservations, and the biodiversity. Under the organic practices, utilizing organic fertilizers and pest control method helps maintain ecological balance and reduce negative environmental impact. Organic farming practices can enhance soil health, of course, they conserve biodiversity, yes, and reduce the use of synthetic chemicals. So, nganong kinahanglan man natong i-reduce ang atong paggamit og mga synthetic chemicals kay tungod dili sa tanang panahon kinahanglan ta mo gamit og mga synthetic fertilizers kay para dili ma-degrade ang atong soil. So, kinahanglan po ta og mga animal manure. So, para naaputay kanang environmental friendly pud ta. So example, an organic farm might use neem oil or to control pests instead of synthetic pesticides. They might also use composted plant waste as a fertilizer to enrich the soil. So dito na kinahanglan katong gitawag nila nga FFG, katong tawag nila nga katong fruit na atong kinahanglan nato nga ato siyang under nato siya og nasa katong FFG. So we have also the water conservation. The efficient water use is crucial, especially in regions experiencing drought. Techniques such as rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, or soil moisture management systems can help minimize water waste. So kinahanglan nato nga hibalon po nato also consider nato ang atong water conservation. Water conservation have playing a crucial. Kay nga naman if wala ka kahibalo dinha nga sa iya nga season dinha nga lugar, posible nga ang imuhang tanom is mag-suffer siya sa drought season or mag-suffer siya sa kanang tingulan. So kinahanglan natong hibalon ang ato ang environment or ang place nga atong gitamnan. Then we have also the biodiversity. Promoting biodiversity by cultivating a variety of plant species helps increase resilience to pests, diseases, and environmental changes. A diverse ecosystem is more robust and can naturally regulate some agricultural issues. So, say for example, a farmer might plant a variety of crops. Example, the mix of legumes, vegetables, and flowers to attract beneficial insect, improve soil fertility, and protect against monoculture-related pests. So kinahanglan ng atong biodiversity is dili pagkangalan biodiversity dili ka mo stick to one crops ra only. Kinahanglan also ka nga mo considered or mo plants ka og different varieties. For example, if kung gitawag nila nga intercropping sa amuang baol is mag-intercropping should be always. See for example, mani dayong ani nga area is among permirong gitanom is mani og ang mais. Dayong sa ubos-ubos na pod is amo na pod siyang mais og ang munggos. So kinahanglan nga ato siyang i-exchange always kay para dili ma-maintain sa mga pest, mga namuyo din nga pest anang lugar ha para ma-distract ang ilaha nga population. So kinahanglan ka makaibalo ka sa you have a knowledge about farming para dili ka like principal nursery of management. You should also consider your management sa imo nga farm para dili ka malakhansi. And that's all for this video. Thank you and hope you learn from this report.
Good day, sir. So today I'm going to discuss about the importance of nurseries and agriculture. So first, we have the plant production. So plant production in nurseries play a vital role when it comes to producing a wide range of plants. So including the ornamentals, which gives beauty to our surroundings, vegetables that nourish us, fruits that give sweetness, and trees that offer shade and environmental benefits. So nurseries is specialized in growing healthy and robust seedlings, which is essential siya for successful agriculture. So and specialized sa nurseries of mga high quality seedlings and young plants which ready na siya to transplant into gardens, farms, or even landscaping. So and also is nursery raising make it easier na sa pagtagad sa mga young plants nga ma-prevent siya sa mga infections, mga pests and interference sa mga weeds. So next is the economic contribution. So next we have economic contribution. So nurseries contribute significantly to the economy by creating or providing jobs in terms of horticulture, landscaping, and agriculture. So we also have mga plant production specialists, which is sila may cultivate, propagating, and nurture sa plants. So and also we have the landscape designers and installers, which is sila may create and implement sa landscape design, which is kanang magamit sa nursery when it comes to producing plants. So and also we have greenhouse technicians, which is sila may manage and maintain or control sa environments like greenhouse para ma-optimize ang pagtubo sa tanom o ma-regulate ang mga factors such as ang temperature, humidity, and light. And also we have farmers, which is ang mga farmers muna siya utilize sa nursery produced plant para ilang i-cultivate into crops para ma-ensure ang kanang steady supply na sa mga food like fiber and sa mga other agricultural products. Next, we have sustainable practices. So by promoting native and drought-resistant plants, nurseries support sustainable agriculture. So
Sa sustainable practices is kanang so ang nurseries is ga-adapt og mga sustainable practices like ang paggamit og mga organic fertilizers, reducing water usage and minimizing pesticides use in order para kanang maprotektahan nato ang soil, air and water quality. So that's all.
So good morning everyone. Good morning sir. So let's move on to the part importance of nurseries in agriculture. The part importance of nurseries in agriculture are research and development. So research and development serve as the sites of research testing new plants varieties and cultivation techniques. This research can lead to improved crop yield and reliance to pests and disease. So, research and developments is, for example, is kanang magtanim ta. So, need man nato siya i-observe para atong may bawaan ko unsay durable ana niya nga plants. So, dito na to magamitan og research and development or magamitan na to siya action para ang pest and disease mawala siya. So, another put is para dako ang crop yield nga or product nga maabot ana or taas ang product nga wala na. So og magagamitan to siya action dili masayang atong kahago kay tungod na nabantayan na to dayon ang mga ningdapo ana niya nga plants. So the second is the educational and awareness. So, educational and awareness is provide educational resources for farmer and gardeners, promoting best practices in plant care, pest management, and sustainable gardening techniques. So, ang educational and awareness, so mag-create ta og seminar like food safety awareness seminar not only for agriculture but also sa tanan. So ang awareness seminar so is kaniyang seminar is nakatabang po niya not only for agriculture mo ni kasama ko sa ganina is to promoting sustainable practices, improving productivity and ensuring food security to biodiversity. So kuan na to ni siya kani nga seminar is mag-create ani it because para ma-aware ang mga tao kay dili lamang kini nato i-share sa atong kaparihang nga agriculture but ang mga tao is kuan naman sila kanang kaagi naman nila is anda naman nilang murag kanaging pamuhat sa mga agri. So napay uban nga di pa sila aware sa uban kung unsay dapat gamiton ana. So magkuanta sa kuana na nga seminar. So the next is the urban gardening. So urban gardening is contribute to urban landscaping efforts, enhancing green spaces in cities. This improve air quality, reduces heat and sport mental well-being. So urban gardening is as the nagkuan siya sa practices increasing the maintaining green spaces in urban areas. So such as park, gardens, green roofs, and also street trees. So this these initiatives is aimed to enhance the quality of life residents to improve environmental conditions and also to promote siya sa biodiversity within the cities.
Greetings everyone, especially to our instructor Mr. Jonathan L. Bayaton. I'm Sheena Tanalgo Paconla, Best A3, Section A, under the subject of Agro 2, Principles of Plant Breeding, Propagation, and Nursery Management. So for today's video, I'll be discussing about the importance of nurseries in agriculture. So my report will be the continuation of Miss Karen Ardenson's report under the Group 3. So, nurseries play a critical role in the field of agriculture and plant breeding propagation. So one importance is that it helps in the conservation of genetic resources. So since nurseries act as repositories where plant species, varieties, and genetic traits are preserved. So this is essential for maintaining biodiversity, especially in the face of environmental challenges and human activities that continue to threaten plant species. So meaning, in other words, nurseries provide a specific place where plants are protected and nourished. So, aside from protection, nurseries provide a controlled environment in which plant species are propagated and developed, especially since sa nurseries nakasagaran ang mga researchers o scientists mag-develop og improved varieties for more desirable qualities. So for instance, the International Rice Research Institute, or IRI in the Philippines, operates rice nurseries that conserves thousands of rice varieties, many of which have unique traits like disease-resistant and also drought-tolerant. And these varieties are especially important nowadays since we are currently experiencing water scarcity, and since rice is a water-demanding crop, that's why pinaagi sa, for example, drought-tolerant nga varieties, mas maka-adapt o maka-withstand siya aning mga challenges. So these conserved genetic materials are important for future breeding programs aimed at developing crops that can withstand climate change and other challenges. So the main point is that nurseries are essential for long-term conservation of plant genetic diversity, which serves as the foundation for future crop development and ecological stability. So next is improved crop quality. So nurseries supply healthy, well-cared-for plants that lead to a better quality in crop and higher yield. So this is particularly important is because it does not only benefit the consumers but also the producers of the crop, since if mas taas ang quality sa usa ka crop, kay mas taas siya market demands. Since nurseries provide an ideal setting for controlled breeding and selection of plants with desirable traits, such as higher yields, pest resistance, and improved nutritional value. So by offering a space to test and grow improved varieties under specific conditions, nurseries allow researchers and breeders to refine crops for more better performance. And this ultimately benefits agriculture by providing plants that are better suited for both local environments and market demands. For instance, let's compare ang plants nga wala nagtubo sa nursery o sa nursery. For example, kanang sa mga mango seedlings nga numuturok lagay sa tugkaran, di ba mabantay nato nga iyahang growth kay dili siya straight gani. So in contrast, ang mango seedlings nga giraise gid siya sa nursery kay mas straight siya og therefore mas favorable for grafting. Another example is that in fruit nurseries, high-quality rootstocks are used to graft superior fruit-bearing varieties. So this practice results in fruit trees that are more productive, disease-resistant, and capable of bearing fruit faster than the trees grown from the seed, such as grafted cacaos. And also not only faster fruiting but also mas sayon ang pag-harvest niya. So meaning, the benefits of nurseries in improving crop quality cannot be overstated. So therefore, nurseries play a pivotal role in enhancing crop quality, which leads to agricultural productivity and food security. So, in conclusion, since ang ako asang report may pinaka last portion sa Group 3. Let's have a recap for conclusion. Since na-discuss na sa akong mga groupmates about the principles of nursery management, each principles have different factors to consider and dili na ako itakol kaayo kay na-discuss na po na nila. So, we can conclude that effective nursery management is essential for sustainable plant production. So, applying the principles outlined in the report, agriculture students can develop skills necessary for managing a productive and environmental friendly nursery. So it does not only entail about learning but also applying these principles into the real life setting for more effective nursery management. In relation to our subject, for us students of plant breeding and nursery management, mastering these interconnected principles allows us to contribute to the development of sustainable agricultural systems, driving both productivity and environmental stewardship. So aside from that, continuous innovation and adaptation are a key to success in this field of plant breeding, propagation, and especially in the field of agriculture. That's all. Thank you.